Welcome back to Intermediate Algebra. We are going to jump right into Chapter 11. We're going to start with the second lesson. So we're going to start with Chapter 11, Lesson 2. We're going to talk about box and whisker plots and the 5-number summary. This is going to be a 2-day assignment, so this is going to be the first half video. Your I can statements are to create a box and whisker plot from a set of data. That's what we're going to focus on today. The next lesson will be about comparing and talking about outliers a little bit. This is all within Minnesota Standard 9411. So jumping right in, this is a good dynamic classroom exploration for 11.2. So if you have time, a really nice way that it kind of breaks down a box and whisker plot. So if you have time, check out the 11.2 exploration. Just a couple review from 7th and 8th grade. The mean is another word for the average. To find that, you add up all the numbers. So I'm going to add all these up, and I got 81. And then you divide by however many entries there are. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 entries. So we take our sum divided by 9, which gives us an average or a mean of 9. That's this one. The median is the middle number. So right here I wrote them from shortest to tallest, or smallest to largest. And the middle number, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 entries. The 5th entry would be directly in the middle. There's 4 below, there's 4 above it. So the median is 6. The mode is the most common. I've got that highlighted. 2 is the most common entry. So that's just a review. We're going to do that again in 11.3 or 11.1. So we will back to review that. Just a quick review. Today we're going to focus on this box and whiskers plot. And yes, it is called the box and whiskers plot because you can kind of see a cat on your screen. So the first button on the far left is your minimum value. That's your smallest value. The first bar represents the first quartile. Think of it as the score at the end of the first quarter in a football game. The second bar is your median. That would be like your halftime score. The third quartile, think of that as the score at the end of the third quarter. And then finally, your max value, your highest in a data set, that's your final score in the football game. And 0, it doesn't have to be 0 for your smallest entry, but it's just kind of a good way to summarize up these data spots. But yeah, minimum and maximum are the whiskers, and then we talk about the first quartile, median, and upper quartile as the box. So that's how they are called, a box and whisker plot. So here we have a box and whisker plot. And it says, what is the upper quartile? Well, the upper quartile is going to be 71 because that's the higher quartile. This is also called the third quartile. That's another way that we can ask that question. So how do we make a box and whisker plot? Step 1, you have to find the median. Usually, I don't know why, but we're always going to give you this mixed up data set. So in this case, we have to line them up from smallest to largest, and they are in this case. Then you need to find the median value. A lot of people are going to start crossing things off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then cross 5 off on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, look, there are 11, so this one is the middle. Be careful though, because if you cross them off, you might not be able to read them, and you're going to need to find the upper quartile and the lower quartile. So I prefer to underline underneath rather than to cross out. But yes, the middle number is the median. In this case, there are 5 data below and 5 data above. After you find the median, you have to find the median of the first and second half. So here, again, that middle was 38. We have 5 below it. We have to find the middle of that half. So 19 is the first quartile. And after the 38, there are 5 entries. So 2 and 2 make the third quartile 56. So we have the median in the middle. 19 is the middle of the top half, small half, and 56 is the middle of the high half or the upper half. The last 2 pieces is the min and max. Now those are the actually easiest to find. Minimum is the smallest 6 and maximum is the highest 78. we can see here that this is called our 5-number summary. Minimum, first quarter, median, halfway, third quarter, and max value. So again, we will call this the 5-number summary. Same set of data here. Once you get a number line, you put dots at the minimum 6 and maximum 78, and you put vertical bars at 19, 38, and 56. Again, it's a number line. You have to do it as best you can. And then just connect those middle 3 with a box around it. And lastly, connect off your whiskers. So that is how you draw a box and whisker plot. You have whisker from min to Q1, box from Q1 to median to Q3, and whisker to the maximum again. Okay, so there is a box and whisker plot. The cool thing about a box and whisker plot is in between each of these data points, we have a quarter of the data. So 2 data points are in the first quartile, 2 data points are in the second, and in the third, and in the fourth. So you can see that it's a quarter of the data points are in between each of those values. So that's why they're called quartiles, quarter quartiles, meaning 1/4 of the data is in between those values. What happens, so this is a really similar data set, but we added 1 value at the end. So what happens if you have an even data set? So now we have 10 data points instead of 9. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the median is going to be halfway between these two. Well, anytime you have an even data set, we just add those 2 middle ones up and divide by 2. So the median is 40.5. It is not one of my data entries, and that is okay. It just has to be in between half of the data, and that's why we do the average. Same thing for the quartiles. So now I have 6 on either side of the median. So where do I find my quartiles? Well, again, I'm going to add the 2 middle ones together and get Q1 to be 20 and Q3 to be 55.5. So if you have an even number of data set, you're going to take the middle of your values as your parts. So we would connect these 3 middle ones with a box. Ooh, really squiggly box. And then your min and max are with your whiskers. So we would put that above a number line. So there's really not too bad mathematically on box and whisker plots. So at this point, this is a great time for you to try and do the Dynamic Classroom 11.2 Monitoring Progress number 1. And this really is the big idea for that first day of your homework. Can you make a box and whisker plot from a data set? And that is it for today. So I hope you guys are enjoying your time at home. I hope you're staying busy and staying active. And I can't wait to see you again soon. We will talk soon. Good luck on your box and whisker plots. Your homework is in Big Ideas. We only have 9 homework questions for this lesson. So good luck, have fun, and stay safe out there.